We still have biblical famines in the 21st century. Every 5 seconds, a child of less than 10 years of age dies as a consequence of malnutrition on a planet with unprecedented wealth and surpluses. It is the inconceivable shame of our time. The human right to food does not seem to exist. How can you live in dignity when you are dying of hunger?
ንሳ ሞይታ ትህፃን ግን ህይወት ነይርዎ ላጠወ ብጣዕሚ ከተልዕሎ ሃሞ ክትገብር እውን የፀግማልካ ነይሩ ከፍቲ እውን
ካዚ ግን ሃሊቁ እዩ ላተሸጠ ላተበልዐ ምሕደር እንትፋስ ላተገበረ በቃ ሃምታድር ካብ ቤተክርስቲያን ንረኹም ጓ ሃማያ ነይራ ክሻዕዛ ገዛዝያ
The United Nations has been told the famine across 4 countries is now the biggest crisis for the organisation since it was founded.
We stand at a critical point in our history.
This is November Foxtrot 1B copy.
A matter of urgency, the UN declares that parts of South Sudan are experiencing famine and warns that by July, half of the population will be without a reliable source of food.
Over the last 150 years, agricultural intensification, worldwide trade, economic growth and social security nets have made people less dependent on local harvests, thereby reducing the impacts of drought. However, every year we still hear alarming news about hundreds of thousands or even millions of people threatened by famines. For millions, the United Nations World Food Programme often is the very last lifeline, an organisation that struggles with ever-decreasing funds, while the total number of those in desperate need of food keeps rising again. We found ways to orbit this planet, to walk on the moon, and yet we seem to be tangled up in debates of what causes a famine. For decades, demographers would blame overpopulation, overlooking the fact that no famine has ever slowed down or stopped population growth in any of the affected countries in the long run. Mass mortality as Darwin's balancing check on mankind is as much cynical as it is an illusion. For far too long, famines had been brought into monocausal relationship with rain, defining it as a pure natural phenomenon, making it a God-given plague. In the Anthropocene, where we humans have altered the planet's climate significantly, be it through local deforestation or the global burning of fossil fuels, such definition falls short of any explanatory power, trying to naturalize something that is deeply political. A governance analyst would identify the root causes in political power struggles over resource access, genocidal politics, in some instances the deliberate withholding of food by the international community, as well as disastrous experiments in social engineering. That the severest famines in the 20th century occurred in authoritarian states is a point in time. Mao's China, Stalin's Russia, Pol Pot's Cambodia, Mengistu's Ethiopia. That virtually every country experiencing a famine in the past 20 years has suffered from conflict, another indicator. Economists would add, it is because of the imperfect markets that purchasing power is missing, the means for production not available, or the integration into global food markets not yet achieved. Those more critical of the prevailing economic systems might add further, there is no legal or moral basis for expecting unregulated markets to meet subsistence needs. Although our understanding of famine is incomplete, and each famine is driven by a case-specific set of circumstances, famines happen because we allow them to happen. Contemporary famines are socio-political processes much more than anything triggered by the prolonged absence of precipitation or by population increase. Purely drought-induced famines seem to have receded into history, being superseded by political famines, pointing towards a crisis of our own human consciousness and structures. Early warning systems monitoring our planet in real time since decades are no more than space debris if the information is not translated into political action on Earth. Too often, there is a fatal delay between early warnings and timely response, rendering all sophisticated technological advances to monuments of irrelevance. The last century has seen the highest number of people dying from starvation, with more than 70 million deaths. This is not only the highest number in all of human history, but it also occurred at the precise historical moment when the technical capacity to abolish famine was first achieved. This may be humanity's greatest indictment. To see an end to famine, we need greater political accountability and a transformation in our consciousness that will be visible in our institutions and on the land. We need to substantially invest in the recovery of ecological systems, healing the scars of landscapes that still bear the legacies of the past, actively restoring soil fertility, rebuilding hydrological cycles, researching improved crop varieties, expanding sustainable irrigation agriculture, investing in proper storage facilities that reduced post-harvest losses to zero. We need to provide access to microcredit and insurance schemes for times of crop failure and establish a banking system that serves society and not the other way around. Along with improved interlinkages between short-term emergency relief, these measures will enhance the resilience of any given household. On a political level, national drought policies need to be formulated that proactively enhance these measures. And a first anti-famine accord needs to be established at a global scale. The international community must demonstrate, without delay, the political will to unconditionally prevent the preventable.
ብድሕሪኡ ድማናይ 77 ታይ ጥቅዓት ታይ ደርቂ ነይሩ
ዋላ ይፋታትን ለይመጽለይ ደርቅታት ስደርቅታት እውን ስለለሎ አውዝ ኸዚ ግዜ ግን ምንም ልትደርቅሲ ከጥቃካ ይኽእል መንግስት እውን ብዙሕ ደገፋት ይገብረለ እዩ ካሊ ትረፍ እኽሊ ፀብሒ ዚችምችሞተ ይተረፈ ሽኳር ተይተረፈ ዋላ እኽሊ ተውሒድ እኳ ኣብቲ ሻዓይቲ ግዜ እኮ ሽኳር ሰቲኻ ልትውዕለሉ እውን የነበረ ከዚ ዳ ቡና ሰቲኻ ሽኳር ሰቲኻ ልውዓለሉ ግዜ እዩ ማያት ደማይ ስለለዝሐ ማይ እውን ሰቲኻ ልውዓለሉ ግዜ ኣሎ እዩ መንግስቲ እውን ይተሓበርለ እዩ እቲ ናብ ሻዓይቲ ግዜ ዳ ደፊኡካ ልሓልፍ ምን ልተሓበር ነይሩ ድዩ
I wish to see a world where you don't have people suffering from lack of food, which is a right, which something everybody is entitled because they are human beings. So I wish to see a world without hunger, because it can happen, it can be done.